She just did what? I shouted, running out as the lights on my porch flickered out like a dying heartbeat. Karen stood there, arms crossed, chin high, holding garden scissors like she'd just saved the neighborhood from a terrorist attack. I told you, she snapped, this line is HOA property. You can't have your cameras connected to our network. I froze. That line she'd just cut was the fiber cable, my direct connection to the county police network I was authorized to monitor for security alerts. I wasn't just some random homeowner, I was contracted as a remote systems tech for the sheriff's department. But she didn't know that, yet. Ma'am, that cable is government property, I said carefully. My voice shook, not from fear, but from disbelief. She smirked. Oh please, you think you scare me with your little fake badges and tech toys. You people think the rules don't apply to you. Her words burned. I looked down at the cut wire lying like a dead snake on the gravel. The live security feed from the police substation had gone black. That line carried encrypted data. Cutting it wasn't just vandalism, it was a federal offense. Karen, you need to step back right now, I warned. She laughed, walking closer. Or what? You'll call your fake cop friends. She pointed at her phone. I already did. The real police are on their way. You're in big trouble, mister. My stomach tightened. This woman had just destroyed police equipment, and somehow she thought I'd be the one in handcuffs. You don't even know what you just did, I muttered under my breath. She crossed her arms again, eyes glittering with smugness. Oh, I know exactly what I did, she said. I stopped you from spying on this neighborhood. I almost laughed, but my chest felt too heavy. She had no idea the moment she snipped that cable, every backup system I'd installed kicked in, recording her face, her voice, her every word. And in about 4 minutes, that backup feed was going to reach the real command center downtown. She thought she'd won. She had no idea her victory just triggered a federal alert. Karen stood on my driveway like she owned it, pacing back and forth, waiting for her so-called backup to arrive. I watched her from a few feet away, hands on my hips, trying to keep my breathing steady. She was humming, actually humming, like she'd just done the right thing for the neighborhood. People like you ruin communities, she said suddenly. You install cameras, bring strange equipment, and think we won't notice. I stayed quiet. The glow from her porch light flickered across her face, showing a mix of pride and spite. Then the faint sound of sirens echoed from down the road. She smirked. Told you. The real police are coming. Let's see how tough you act now. 2 patrol cars pulled up, lights flashing red and blue against the trees. The officers stepped out, calm but alert. Karen waved them over immediately. Officers. He's been spying on us using illegal police cables. I caught him connecting to some system, I cut the line myself. She announced proudly, like she expected applause. The taller officer's eyebrows shot up. You cut the line? He asked. Yes, she said firmly. It's my duty as HOA president. He blinked. Ma'am, that cable connects to the county emergency response hub. Karen hesitated, her mouth twitching. No, that's not possible. It's right outside my property line. The officer looked at me. Sir, you the one who filed the police tech maintenance notice last month? Yes, sir, I replied, handing him my ID badge. He read it, and his posture shifted immediately. You're with the sheriff's digital division. Yes, remote systems technician, I said quietly. Karen's face turned pale. Wait, you're serious? The officer exhaled slowly, and turned back to her. Ma'am, cutting this line isn't just property damage. It's federal tampering with law enforcement infrastructure. Her jaw dropped. That's ridiculous. He's lying. He set me up. I stepped closer, my voice calm but heavy. You cut a live police fiber line, Karen. You didn't stop a hacker, you just triggered a federal breach alert. Her phone buzzed in her hand. She glanced at it, and froze. The HOA chat group was lighting up with notifications. Someone had posted a live feed, from my backup camera. It showed her clearly, walking up to the cable, cutting it, and yelling, "That'll teach you to spy on us." The whole neighborhood was watching. Karen's confident smirk vanished the second she realized the video was playing in every neighbor's phone. Her voice cracked as she tried to explain, "That video's fake. He edited it." But the officer had already received the same footage through his bodycam link. It was authenticated, timestamped, synced, undeniable. Ma'am, the officer said sternly, step back, please. She refused to move. You don't understand. He's dangerous. He's been recording us all. I sighed softly. Karen, that cable wasn't for spying. It was for emergency coordination. You just disconnected our neighborhood from the sheriff's dispatch. If a real crime happened right now, no unit would receive the call. For the first time, her eyes flickered with something that looked like doubt. But instead of apologizing, she turned it around. He's lying. He's pretending to be some government worker to intimidate me. The officer gave a small nod to his partner, who pulled up my verification file through the system. Within seconds, my department credentials appeared on his tablet, full clearance. Then, the shorter officer said, it checks out. He's not lying. Karen stumbled back a step, her voice trembling now. You mean, he's actually authorized personnel, the officer cut in. And you've just damaged a secure network connection. That's a serious offense. Her phone buzzed again, this time with another notification. Someone from the HOA board had posted, Karen, did you really cut the police fiber line? This is going to go viral. Delete the video. She looked at me, her expression turning desperate. Please, can we just fix this quietly? I met her eyes, calm and steady. The system already logged everything. In exactly 1 minute, the sheriff's department will be here to assess the breach. Her breathing quickened. You can stop that, right? Just say it was an accident. I tilted my head. You screamed on camera that you did it on purpose. Remember? She froze, realizing there was no way out. And right then, before anyone could say another word, a black SUV rolled up quietly behind the patrol cars. The door opened, and a man in a gray suit stepped out, his badge flashing under the streetlight. Karen's lips parted in confusion as he walked straight toward her. Ma'am, he said calmly, I'm with Federal Communications Security. We need to talk about that cable you just cut. Karen's voice dropped to a whisper. Oh no. Karen's face turned completely white as the federal agent stepped closer, flipping open a small black notebook. His voice was calm, but every word landed like a hammer. You interfered with a federal data line that links emergency units across the district. That's not a neighborhood matter, ma'am. That's a felony. I didn't know. She stammered. I thought he was stealing data or spying on us. The agent glanced at me, then at the live feed still running on his tablet. You cut the line after being told it was part of the police system, he said. That's called intentional damage. Karen's voice cracked. You don't understand. He put those cameras up without our approval. The HOA rules say. The agent raised his hand, silencing her. The HOA doesn't overrule state or federal law, Mrs. Bennett. His tone was razor sharp. You have no jurisdiction over government property. The whole neighborhood had gathered by now. Porch lights were on, phones recording. Whispers spread like wildfire. Some of them looked shocked, others, secretly relieved. Karen had ruled this street for years, making everyone afraid to speak against her. Her husband appeared from behind their porch, still in his robe, trying to calm her down. Karen, please, just stop talking. She spun around. No, I did what was right for the community. I stayed silent, letting her words dig her own hole. Then, out of nowhere, the federal agent turned toward me. Sir, your system triggered the alert within seconds. Impressive setup. You saved us a lot of confusion tonight. I gave a faint nod. Backup feed automatically pings command when any connection is breached. Karen blinked, realizing what that meant. So you knew I was going to do it. I looked at her, eyes steady. Let's just say I've seen you cut more than grass, Karen. The crowd gasped. Someone whispered, he caught her last month too, she slashed his extension cord. The agent sighed. Ma'am, you'll need to come with us. We'll take your statement downtown. Karen's voice trembled. Am I under arrest? The officer beside her replied softly, yes, ma'am. As they led her toward the SUV, she turned her head, eyes filled with disbelief. This isn't over, she hissed. I met her gaze one last time. It already is. The agent shut the SUV door, and the sound echoed through the street like the final note of a long, bitter song. The neighbors stood frozen, their self-proclaimed queen finally dethroned. As the SUV pulled away, the red and blue lights washed over the street one last time before fading into the distance. The silence that followed felt unreal, like the neighborhood itself was holding its breath for the first time in years. Everyone stood still, phones still in hand, eyes flicking between me and the now empty spot where Karen had stood moments ago. Mrs. Davis, the quiet old lady from across the road, stepped forward slowly. "I can't believe it, she's actually gone," she murmured. I nodded, still processing everything. "She'll be facing questioning for tampering with federal property. It's out of my hands now." Mr. Reynolds, who'd been too afraid to speak against Karen before, sighed with relief. "You just did what none of us could. You finally stopped her." I didn't say anything. I just looked at the cut cable lying in the gravel, still lifeless but somehow peaceful now. The agent's team had promised to fix the line in the morning, but I already knew something deeper had been restored tonight. The control she had over everyone was gone. Later that night, as I reconnected my system and checked the live feeds, one message popped up on my monitor. It was from the county command. "Alert verified. Excellent response. Backup feed saved us 4 minutes. You prevented a major shutdown." 4 minutes. That was all it took for her pride to collapse and the truth to surface. I leaned back in my chair, glancing out the window. The street was quiet, almost peaceful for the first time in months. Kids' bikes still leaned on driveways. Halloween lights blinked faintly on fences. And somewhere in the distance, I could still see the faint shimmer of the fiber repair crew's headlights. My wife walked in, wrapping a blanket over my shoulders. "You okay?" she asked softly. I nodded. "Yeah, just thinking about how fast things can change." She smiled faintly. "Karen messed with the wrong man this time." I couldn't help but chuckle. "No," I said quietly. Watching the screen glow in front of me, "she messed with the wrong system." And with that, I typed the final entry in my report. Incident resolved. Neighborhood secure. Lesson learned. Some lines, once crossed, can't be reconnected. Outside, the wind carried a strange calm. Justice hadn't just been served, it had been recorded, backed up, and timestamped. Forever.